Hello and welcome to TA for Traders. It is Friday the 1st of August. In this video we'll be looking at three UK stocks. Meggitt Holdings, which is the code MGGT. That's breaking to the upside and looks positive. UK Oil and Gas Investments, UKOG. That's breaking to the downside and is a concern looking at the technicals. And finally we'll look at Bushveld Minerals, code BMN, and that also, like Meggitt, is breaking to the upside and looks like it may break into new high ground. Let's look at the charts. Okay, so let's start with Meggitt. Yesterday had a very good move and broke into new high ground. Today we're having a slight consolidation, but given the technicals, it's broken out. We've got some solid upside pressure from the moving averages. You can see that over the last couple of 3 weeks, both the 20 and the 50 have both given support. They've both been moving up, which is positive. They also did create a golden cross on the 3rd of August when the 20 moved above the 50. So that all bodes well, and that's one of the reasons why we've had the push upwards. On the RSI, you can see that it's showing positive momentum. It's in a nice shallow uptrend, which is good, and it's above 50, 62.86. There's no concerns there. Also, it's quite good that it's at a it's a recent high on the move yesterday. So there's no non-confirmations there. So it all bodes well. And likewise on the MACD, they have been flatlining just above the zero, which is okay, showing slight positive momentum. But now we're getting the short-term divulging from the longer term, and that's shouting a buy signal as well. So overall, this chart looks good, and further upside progress should be expected. Looking at the longer term picture, so here we're looking at the 1 week chart. Each candle represents 1 week, and you can see that we've been finding support at the 20-week moving average, and that is now given the push upwards. You can see that there is resistance levels around about 545 and then at 580. They're dating back from July 14 and March 15. Here as well, the RSI is still showing positive momentum, 65.44, and the MACD well above zero, and I think I will expect them to divulge to the upside again if we have another up week next week. On the shorter term picture, this is the 4-hour chart, so each candle represents 4 hours trade. Again, it looks positive. There wasn't a golden cross here on the 2050 because the 50 was moving down, but again they all gave support. Even the 200 here gave support on early yesterday, and that's helped to give the push upwards. Actually, not early yesterday, early on that'd be Tuesday. RSI again getting towards high level. Not quite as high as it was, so we just need to watch that. But let's just see where this where the present break takes us. Hopefully we will get up to that level, which is about 68. We're presently at 66.71, but the MACD again is positive. So on Meggitt, just looking at the support and resistance, we've got those resistance levels, as I said, from a couple of years ago, 545, then 577, with support at the 20-day, 502.65, and then the second support, 496.7, and that's from the 50-day. Moving on to UK Oil and Gas Investments, this one has actually deteriorated today. It's broken down You can see that it's the dominant influence on this stock is this downtrend in 20-day moving average. It was giving support through August, from the 10th of August, and then again 17th of August, all the way up to the 24th. But we then went below it. It's now rolling down, is now a resistance level, and is the dominant factor on this market, on this stock. Quite good. Obviously, the 50-200 are still moving upwards, but they are a long way down. Momentum has been lost. You can see that the RSI is in a downtrend. It's still above 50, 52.29. But another day like today, and that will be below 50. And a lot of people looking at charts look at that 50 level. Any RSI going below 50, they see it as a negative sign. So be aware of that. There could be some further selling pressure come through if that does happen. And the MACD short term is below the longer term as they trend downwards, again indicating negative momentum. On the weekly chart, I mean, the only thing that you can really say, obviously we've had a great move. We're very, very extended away from the moving averages. The 20 weeks down at 3.41, so we're well above there. This consolidation could go on for some time. If you look at the history of this share, it tends to have these runs and then just drifts off for a long time, and that's exactly what could happen again to allow those moving averages to catch up. You can see that momentum has been lost on the RSI as that tracks down, although it is still very positive. It's still at 79, but it's in a downtrend. MACD, which has been very positive, just starting to, we can see the shorter term just starting to flat line a bit. And moving on to the short term picture, and here you can see the breakdown. Here not only did we have the 20 average as a negative, but also the 50 has rolled over, and both of those will now start to move down quite aggressively and will create resistance to any upside. Again, the RSI is broken down. That's actually now at 35.09 and is indicative of negative momentum. Also, the MACD, which have been flatlining for quite a time, look like they're going to diverge to the downside and start to signal a sell. You can see support here on the trades of the 10th of August, 6.48. But looking at the support resistance levels, we've got resistance at the 20-day. As I said, that's moving down, 7.48. Then at 8, with support 6.41, and then at the 50-day, 5.61. Okay, moving on to the final stock on the video, and that is Bushveld Minerals. Just let me turn off that cursor, and you can see that it's kind of the opposite of UK oil and gas. It's moved up above the 20-day. It was a bit of a concern when we were trading below it, but it didn't trade below it long enough for that 20-day to roll down. And so we've gone back above it. It did roll down just marginally for one and a half days, but we soon got back above it, and it's moving back up again now, which is good. It was also very positive that we had this golden cross on the 9th of August when the 20 crossed the 50-day, both moving upwards. That was a buy signal, and really one would expect the momentum in this market and the push from these moving averages to get what I call the trampoline effect, which should break us into new high ground. You can see that the RSI has ticked back up in an uptrend and is presently at 64.33. If we get to new high ground, we'd want that RSI to be above 79, so we want it to get high so that we don't get a non-confirmation. But just keep your eye on that. But it is indicating positive momentum. Not quite so much positive momentum coming through or being shown by the MACD, but they are moving upwards. And another day like today, and I would expect that to be shouting a buy signal as well. Looking at the longer term picture, and here you can see that the breakup that we've had this week, again it's off a moving average, which is good, off the 20-week. The RSI is actually in a slight downtrend, so that needs to tick up, as does the MACD, but on a longer term chart like this they do tend to lag. And finally, on the short term, you can see on this 4 hour there's immediate resistance at about the 10.4 and then the 10.8, but if that can get broken, we're in new high ground. The RSI in a solid uptrend at a high 71 points, well at a high for this break, for this trend, 71.6, which is good, and the MACD here has started to flag a buy signal. So looking at the support resistances, I've only put one resistance on here, that's the all-time high 10.92. I did mention some previous resistances about 30 seconds ago, a minute ago. Just track back on the video if you want to catch those again. Support at the 20-day 9.53, and support at the 20 from the 4 hour at 9.49. So that's been TA for traders. Looking at Meggitt Holdings, which looks good, Bushveld Minerals, which looks good, UK Oil and Gas Investments doesn't look good at all, looks like a sell. Thanks for watching. If you're not a subscriber to my YouTube channel, please do subscribe. You then get email updates when I come out with new videos. I don't just do stocks, I also look at stock indices, the Forex markets and the commodities. Please do look for my YouTube channel and you'll see plenty of examples. Please remember, these videos are not an investment recommendation, they're just my opinions and are for educational purposes. And if you can just read the disclaimer as well. Thank you very much.